Okay, so kasi I don't know, parang nalipat ata yung holiday for, ano yung August? Ninoy Aquino. Diba? It was moved 21, then it become 23. Tama ba ako? Hindi nyo rin alam. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. So, supposed to be next week, we have August 24. We have discussion, quiz on carbs and discussion on lipids. And then, ang binigay ko sa inyong holiday, oh no. Mr. Saavedra, you have 3 minutes to answer the quiz. So, if you want to answer, the access code is Saturday, all capital letters. Let's see kung aabot siya. 'Di ba, yung iba ngayon lang pumasok, ang galing. For those who just came in, you only have 2 minutes to answer the quiz. Access code is Saturday. Let's just wait for them to finish. Ayan, 4:20 na. Okay, so as I was saying, so supposed to be the holiday I will be giving you is August 31. So that sabay kayo ng section A and B with the supposed to be week break. Pero I can make a change for you depending sino ba lang president nyo? Who's your class president? Miss Castellano. Okay, so you will have to choose which holiday schedule do you want. Okay, which break do you want? Is it August 24? I'm so sorry. August 24 or August 31? Okay, so if August 24 yung pinili niyong break, okay, so Miss Castellano, can please make a poll. If you choose August 24, obviously we have class on August 31. Then mangyayari yung quiz for carbohydrates and discussion of lipids. But if you chose 31 as our break, and then same pa rin yung sorry, same pa rin yung schedule. Okay, so I think you have your GC. You can start making a poll kung kailan nyo yung gusto yung break, August 24 or August 31. Okay, so while you are having a poll, I will also start my discussion on carbohydrates. Again, 7 o'clock ang start ng class. I start my quiz 7. Open siya for 20 minutes or depende. Normally, if my quiz is 20 items, the quiz will be open for 25 minutes. So, I'm still giving the 5 minutes spare time or grace period for the latecomers. Pero, again, of course, if you will enter Google Meet at like 2 minutes before, yun lang yung matitira sa inyo, 2 minutes. Ito ba window? Yeah. Any questions before I start the discussion on carbohydrates? May tanong ba? Nandyan ba kayo? Hmm. Okay, at least may nagre-react sa akin. Okay, so let's start our discussion. So, starting from here on, we'll talk about the different types of nutrients. We'll start with the macronutrients or the three large food groups, which is carbohydrates, lipids, and fats. Lipids, carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. We'll start the discussion with carbohydrates. So let's start with, but I mag-move. Let's start with the definition of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is an organic compounds in plant kingdom which contains the element carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So biochemically, it is written as CHO. This includes starches and sugar, which furnishes the major source of energy. So carbohydrates, its main functions is to give energy. Okay, it forms the major bulk of the Filipino diet. So, though carbohydrates, it has actually the large proportion. If we have to percentage our food based on balanced diet, carbohydrate makes up around 45 to 65% of a balanced diet. Okay, but Filipinos sometimes we increase carbohydrates intake because the major bulk of our diet is carbs. We like grains, we like rice. Okay. Other functions of carbohydrates. So again, the main function is it's the main source of energy. So like if we ate 1 grams of carbohydrates, this is equals to 4 kilocalories. If you remember, calories is the measurement of the energy you get from food. Okay. Glucose, which is a type of carbs or which is the simplest type of carbohydrates, okay, because it is the simplest sugar. It's the primary source of energy for the body, for the body cells. Okay, um the source of energy for our brain and nerve tissue is also glucose. And if we are not to use glucose, this is normally stored in our body as glycogen, which is normally seen within our muscles. Next, it is equally distributed. So it is for body distribution. Okay. So like for example, yun nga, carbohydrates, it could be stored as glycogen. Okay. Some carbohydrates can also be seen on our muscles, all cardiac, smooth, and skeletal muscle, all the types. You could see carbohydrates like around 250 grams. Glucose, of course, it is easily distributed throughout our body because it is found in blood and also part of the extracellular fluid. Okay, so in short, equally distributed yung carbs all throughout the body. Next is a protein sparer. So energy needs are always given priority. So, in short, kasi si carbs, it has a lot of functions, di ba? Yun nga, sabi, the main function is energy, but it can also work as a protein wherein it can help in bodybuilding. Okay, pero again, its main function is for energy. Next, it regulates fat metabolism. So again, it also helps the function of fats. Okay, so if you remember the discussion last time na if we don't have enough glucose ang nagsa-step up is fats, okay? But ganun din naman when it comes to fats, okay? Glucose actually helps in regulating fat metabolism. Next is it regulates intestinal peristalsis or bulk formers, specifically fibers, which is a carbohydrate. It works in intestinal peristalsis and its bulk former. Thus, it helps in patients with constipations because it helps you to eliminate food. Okay, next. It provides sweetness and palatability. Kaya nga masarap yung carbs or gusto natin yung carbs because kaya nga masarap kasi nga sweet. So kaya we like carbs kasi it is sweet and it's palatable. It's savory as well. Okay. Next, special function. So there are different types of carbohydrates and some has specific function. First is it can be a constituent of brain and nerve tissue. Sabi ko nga 'di ba na carbs can also be seen on the brain and nerve tissue, specifically glucose and galactose. It is a constituent of brain and nerve tissue. Second, detoxifier of some chemicals and bacterial toxins, specifically glucuromic acid. Third, encourage bacterial growth for absorption of calcium and synthesis of vitamin D. So this works also for glucose. And lastly, important in drug therapy. So example ng encourage bacterial growth is glucose and lactose. Okay? And lastly, important in drug therapy. So this includes glycosides. Glycosides is for cardiac therapy. Insulin, this is for kidney function and also for patients with diabetes. And lastly, heparin. Heparin prevents blood clotting. So these are sample of food that is rich in carbohydrates. So this includes noodles, rice, pasta, pizza, bread, cake, muffin, anything that you think is sweet and savory. These are source of carbohydrates. This is just an enumeration of the food sources. So again, anything that is sugary, that's considered carbs. So fruits and vegetable also has carbohydrates, cereals and grains, root crops, milk and its products. So products like cheese, it has carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, this is subdivided into two types. We have simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. When we say simple carbohydrates, these are digested and absorbed quickly by your body, so they provide a quick energy source. A diet high in simple carbohydrates tends to cause wide swings in your blood sugar levels and increase the risk of obesity and diabetes. This is why it is sometimes categorized as bad carbohydrate. So, most simple carbohydrates, they do not contain important nutrients, okay? Like vitamins, minerals, or fiber. They are just simple carbohydrates, meaning they have empty calories. That is why they are considered bad carbohydrates. Okay, so this includes cake, candies, other refined sugar, anything that you think is very sweet. Okay, that is if you need a quick energy source, simple carbohydrates is your go-to food. Like for example, nangihina ka na, you feel weakness, you feel dizziness when you are not eating like the whole day. Just eat any sweets, okay, which is simple carbs, a soda, cake, ayan. You could get your energy back. Okay, so sabi ko nga, it happened to me while I'm on the beach. So, siyempre, prior to that, on diet and everything. So, ayun, nahilo. And then, I just ate like chocolate and Coke. Okay na ulit ako. Okay? So, and another problem, kaya siya tinawag din pala na bad carbohydrates kasi nga it could cause wide swings in your blood sugar. So, supposed to be, it's just a quick energy source. So, you could only take it if you're really hungry or if you're really weak. But if you eat it every day consecutively, thus it would cause wide swing in the blood sugar level. So it would complicate things because it will cause certain diseases like obesity or diabetes. Okay, so again, you have to watch for foods that are considered simple carbohydrates kasi again, they are considered bad, they are empty calories, and they would cause wide swing in your blood sugar. Next is a complex carbohydrates. So there are two types of complex carbs. We have starchy and dietary fiber. This helps stabilize your blood sugar and give you more sustained energy and help you feel satisfied longer after your meal. Thus, they are referred as good carbohydrates. So this include foods such as breads, legumes, rice, pasta, and starchy foods. So, di ba, like tayo, Filipinos, we like to have rice or actually rice on lunch and dinner or minsan pa nga breakfast. That is why we could sustain the food we eat at least 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours. Kasi nga, while eating a complex carbohydrates, it would give you more sustained energy. Thus, you will not feel any hunger. Okay? Unless you have used up all the energy from that food kasi you have done extraneous activities. Okay? So, it is considered good carbohydrates kasi um, it will satisfy your energy needs, and again, it's won't cause any problem with your blood sugar. So this again another samples or food samples of simple and complex carbohydrates. Generally, simple carbohydrates are the monosaccharides, meaning these are the food that has only one sugar molecule, while complex are the polysaccharides which has 10 or more sugar molecules. So a summary of the simple and complex carbohydrates. Again, the good carbohydrates are the complex carbohydrates. It has more fiber, minerals, and vitamins, low glycemic index, and feel full on fewer calories. So this includes again whole grains, oatmeal, green vegetables, and fruits. Bad carbohydrates are the simple carbohydrates. They are low fiber and nutrients, high glycemic index, so it could rise your blood sugar. Lots of calories needed to make you full. Ayun pa yung another problem sa simple carbohydrates. You tend to eat more kasi hindi ka nabubusog. Okay? So sample, sugary cereal, soda, candies, and cookies. Ayan. Next. Ayan, another sample lang yan. Okay. Another way to classify carbohydrates is based on their sugar molecule. So monosaccharides, it's contain only one sugar molecule. Oligosaccharide has two or more sugar molecule, and polysaccharide, it has many saccharide molecules. At least it's around 5 sugar molecules and more. Under the monosaccharides, we have glucose, fructose, and galactose. Disaccharide includes maltose, starch, glycogen, and cellulose. Yung sabi nga, the good carbohydrates are considered the polysaccharide, while the bad carbohydrates are considered the monosaccharide. Okay, let's discuss monosaccharides. It is again subdivided into three types. We have hexose, pentose, and glucose derivatives. Okay, so these monosaccharides, they are also known as reducing sugar. And again, they can only contain one molecule of sugar. It is used as the source of energy in respiration. Okay, so nandyan si glucose. So obviously, these are the types of sugar that is used as an energy source. Okay, so hexose first. So we have glucose. Glucose has mild sweet flavor known as blood sugar or dextrose or grape sugar. They are essential energy source and found in every disaccharide and polysaccharide. Since they are the simplest sugar, okay, in order to form more sugar molecules, we need this hexoses. Okay. Sources includes fruits, honey, corn syrup, and sweet corn. So we all know that glucose is the sugar that is found on blood. Kaya nga tinawag siyang blood sugar. Okay? Fructose, on the other hand, is considered the sweetest sugar. It is found in fruits and honey and added to soft drinks, cereals, and desserts. That actually lahat ng mga sweet food, it has fructose. Soda has the highest percentage of fructose, specifically Mountain Dew. Okay? You could always check that on the nutrient labels. You would say na, ay, oo nga, may fructose content siya. And you could also see nutrient labels na yung sugar content of this type of food like desserts, cake, it's really high because it has fructose on it. Next is galactose. Galactose hardly tastes sweet. It's rarely found naturally as a single sugar and it is found as the monosaccharide in peas. Mannose, on the other hand, is present in some plants' polysaccharide, collectively termed as mannan. So, unlike fructose and glucose that we could use individually, okay, and could be an added ingredient on foods, galactose and mannose, they occur only in combined form. Okay, so meaning you have to add it on other types of hexose like glucose and fructose in order for it to work. Next is pentoses. So pentoses come from nucleic acid of meat and seafoods and can be synthesized by the body. They are essential for nucleic acid synthesis and a coenzyme which forms ATP. So and we know that ATP is a form of energy. So this pentoses again, sorry, they are normally found on meat and seafood. So, 'di ba, meat and seafood, they have this sweet savory flavor. This is because they have the pentose as sugar, okay? They can be synthesized by the body. So, it's not that essential kasi we already have it. So, minsan sumusobra tayo sa pentose. So, pentose is considered simple sugar or simple carb. So this is a bad carbohydrate. So it could fluctuate our blood sugar if we have too much meat and seafood as well. Examples of pentoses include xylose and arabinose, which are present in plant fibers and vegetable gums. Next, riboflavin, ribose, and deoxyribose are indispensable constituent of life processes. Next is the glucose derivative. So this includes sorbitol, xylitol, and mannitol. Sorbitol is the sweetening has a sweetening power similar to glucose and this is slowly absorbed, thus has a little effect on blood sugar level. So if you have problem with sugars like you are a diabetic, okay, so this could be an alternative sugar for you kasi it has little effect on the blood sugar level. It's also mannitol also has the same function wherein this could be a sweetener for people with diabetes. Okay, mannitol is also used as a food ingredient and it's also used as an ingredient and coating for hard candies, dried fruits, and chewing gum. So the sugary coating that you would see on gummies, on cereals, or any candies, okay, that is actually mannitol. Xylitol, on the other hand, this is sweet as sucrose. Sucrose is considered the table sugar, the common household sugar we use. But xylitol, this is used in the manufacture of gum. So actually, there's a brand name xylitol na used as a gum breath freshener, and technically, it has sugar on it. Next, ayaw mag-move. Ayan. Another type of carbohydrates is oligosaccharide. Again, oligosaccharide has more than one sugar molecule. It includes disaccharide that has two sugar molecule. It has sucrose, maltose, and lactose. Trisaccharides has three sugar molecules. Examples includes raffinose and maltose. And finally, tetrasaccharides, it has four sugar molecules, and this includes starches. Let's discuss the disaccharides first. Again, disaccharides, they are made up of two monosaccharides joined together. They are joined together by condensation reaction. So sucrose is an example. Sucrose is derived from molasses, maple syrup, and fruits which yields glucose and fructose. So, di ba nga sabi ko sa inyo, it's a combination of two monosaccharides. So, sucrose is a combination of glucose and fructose. Samples include stable sugar, which is our common household sugar, cane sugar, as well as beet sugar. Another disaccharide is lactose. Lactose is a combination of glucose and galactose, and it's the main carbohydrate in milk. That is why it is called as milk sugar. So lactose, this is also found on milk of this is normally found on milk of young mammals ko, obviously, kaya nga 'di ba yung like cow, we get the milk from cow. So, ayun, milk sugar siya. So, there's a question na, ma'am, bakit may mga taong may lactose intolerant, okay, or cannot eat or drink milk? If they do, either they vomit or they will have diarrhea. So, again, na-explain ko na siya sa first topic. But again, this is because some people don't have the enzyme that could break down lactose or could digest lactose. They don't have the enzyme lactase. So every time they drink milk, they either tend to vomit or have diarrhea kasi dadaan lang siya sa GIT mo. Your body won't digest it because it doesn't have the enzyme needed to digest the lactose. Another disaccharide is maltose. This is derived from the sprouting grains, which yield two molecules of glucose. This is used for feeding of infants. So you may have seen infant foods like gerber na ganito yung consistency. It's like honey, okay? So it's actually not honey kasi honey is not allowed for children. It can be toxic for children. What they are eating is maltose, which is a type of sugar. Okay? Examples include malt sugar and grain sugar. Next, trisaccharides. Trisaccharides, they are sugar containing 3 hexoses or 3 monosaccharides. Again, they are joined together through condensation reaction. Under trisaccharides, we have raffinose and melizzetose. Raffinose are white crystalline sugar from cottonseed meal, sugar beets, and molasses, while melizzetose are found on honey and poplars and conifers. So, raffinose, kay normally found ito sa mga sugar beets. Okay, so 3 sugar molecules na agad siya. And yun nga, sinabi ko, honey, it's not recommended or not allowed for infants kasi it could cause toxicity. They normally eat maltose. Tetrasaccharides. So tetrasaccharides are a carbohydrate that gives upon hydrolysis 4 molecules of monosaccharides. Okay, for starchiose, it contains 1 molecule of glucose, 1 molecule of fructose, and 2 molecules of galactose. Thus, 4 monosaccharides. Kaya nga under siya ng tetrasaccharides. So it's less sweet than sucrose and it is mainly used as bulk sweetener. Normally, this is naturally found on veggies like peas, beets, and lima beans. So actually, you may see na habang dumadami yung sugar molecules, the sugar will be tend to become less sweet. Okay, but as kanina, 'di ba, fructose, it is considered the sweetest sugar, okay, because it's a monosaccharide. But as there will be or longer sugar molecule, it will become less sweet. Polysaccharide. So polysaccharide, it is a combination of many monosaccharides, so at least 5 or more, and they are subdivided into digestible polysaccharides and undigestible polysaccharides. Under digestible polysaccharides, we have starch, dextrine, and glycogen. So under fibers, we have cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, and insulin. First, the digestible polysaccharide. So, digestible polysaccharide, so meaning it will undergo digestion and metabolism. So, meaning we absorb these types of polysaccharides. This includes starch, which yields glucose, dextrine, and maltose. So, if you remember, glucose is a monosaccharide, also is also trisaccharide. So it's a lot of sugar. Body hydrolyzes plant sugar to glucose as well. So obviously, kasi polysaccharides, once digested, they will turn into the simplest sugar, which is a monosaccharide. In this case, it will become glucose. Okay, starch is the carbs that we see on grains like rice, tubers, seed roots, and unique fruits. Okay, glycogen on the other hand, it's all glucose is normally stored as glycogen in plants and not as important dietary source of carbohydrates. So comparing the two, the most important glycogen. Undigested polysaccharides includes fibers. Okay, so pag sinabi mong undigestible, obviously it cannot be digested. Thus, it will just flow in our body and eliminate it. Once we ingest it, mga after 3 to 4 hours, we normally will eliminate it. So bonds of fibers cannot be broken down during the digestive process. Distinguish fiber by source. So it's either a dietary fiber, which is naturally found in intact plants, functional fiber that is extracted from plants, or could be manufactured, or it's a total fiber, which is the sum of the two types of fiber. Kasi nga, mostly, especially if we are trying to lose weight, we want a fiber-rich diet para we could have that feeling of fullness, but it will not add up any calories in our body. Okay? Kasi once you take up fiber, there is minimal or no energy available on that food. Thus, ini-eliminate lang din natin. Kaya nga ito pa, it's undigestible. So, fiber types, ayan, you could get fibers from cellulose, pectins, lignins, and resistant starches. Of course, if the starches are resistant to digestion, they are also under fibers. Okay, so all of this types of fiber can be seen mostly on fruits and vegetables. Yeah, carrots, potato, sa mga fruits like pineapple, ayan, mga rich on fiber, apple. So fiber characteristics, insoluble and not easily fermented. So that is why they promote bowel movements. They alleviate constipation and found in grains and veggies. So obviously, it could alleviate constipation since it promotes bowel movements. The soluble fibers, viscous fermentable, they are easily digested by bacteria in the colon and associated with protection against heart disease and diabetes. Thus, it could lower cholesterol and glucose levels. So again, not all carbohydrates are considered bad carbohydrates. This is a sample of a good carbohydrates. So again, this would protect us against heart disease and even diabetes. It promotes intestinal peristalsis also. And ayan, it would lower your cholesterol and glucose level. Normally found in legumes and fruits. So these are samples of foods that are considered fibrous, has fibrous carbs. So vegetable in general has fibers. Cucumbers, asparagus, broccoli, peas, squash, carrots, peppers, tomatoes, and beans. Healthy starchy carbs. Again, if you remember starch carb, it is the main energy source and they could be broken down into glucose, which is the energy. Okay. So this includes grains, so rice, whole grains, pasta, beans, bread, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and healthy cereals. Yung hindi coated ng sugar ha. And then simple carbs, simple carbs are considered bad carbs, but actually there are some healthy simple carbs, fruits, okay? But you have to avoid foods with sugar ingredients para hindi siya maging considered as bad carbohydrates. This is just a summary of the different types of carbs based on their sugar molecule. So again, under monosaccharides, we have glucose, fructose, and galactose. So this is the simplest sugar. Thus, they are the ones who provide energy. And if we are not to use that energy, they can be converted to glycogen for storage. Disaccharides, this includes sucrose, maltose, and lactose. And excess is stored as fats. And polysaccharides include starch, cellulose, and glycogen, and they normally is used in synthesis of DNA. So carbohydrates digestion. So every time we eat carbs, okay, it will undergo digestion for processing. So normally, yung polysaccharides, they have to be broken down into the simplest sugar, specifically monosaccharides, or like this one, they could be broken down into glucose, wherein the body will absorb it and use it as an energy source. Okay. Large starch molecules, which is considered a polysaccharide, it will undergo extensive breakdown. Actually, digestion of starch starts in the mouth. Disaccharide, since this only contain two sugar molecule, it could only be broken once. So digestion normally happens in the small intestine. While monosaccharides, since they are the simplest sugar, okay, they don't need to be broken down. And thus, this could be easily absorbed. So this is a detailed discussion. So again, carbohydrate digestion normally begins in the mouth, specifically if you have ingest or eaten a polysaccharide like starch. So chewing releases saliva, and that saliva will have an enzyme amylase, which hydrolyzes starch to polysaccharide and maltose. Okay. After which it will be on the stomach. No enzymes is available to break down the starch, but the stomach has hydrochloric acid, which will break down the pieces of carbohydrates. Fibers and starch will provide feeling of fullness. Okay. Kaya nga you have to eat fiber-rich diet kasi it could provide the feeling of fullness without adding up calories on your body. Small intestine, once the food reach the small intestine, majority of carbohydrate digestion takes place here. Like for example, the pancreatic amylase, it will reduce carbohydrates to glucose change or disaccharides. Once it is on a disaccharide form, specific enzymes will finish the job. Like for maltase, it will break down maltose into 2-glucose. Sucrase, it will break down sucrose into glucose and fructose. And lactase will break down lactose into glucose and galactose. Okay? So in short, pagdating sa small intestine, all of the sugar are in its simplest form, which is a monosaccharide. Either it's a glucose, fructose, or galactose. Now, once it reach the large intestine, it's around 1 to 4 hours. Kaya nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, or kung napapansin nyo yung meal interval, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's normally like 4 to 5 hours interval. Okay? Kasi the digestion of carbohydrates also happens within 1 to 4 hours. Okay? So 1 to 4 hours for sugar and starch to be digested. And then on the large intestine, only the fibers will remain since the other types of sugar was already absorbed in the small intestine. Um, so sa large intestine, that fibers will attract water which will soften stool. Thus, it is destined for elimination or defecation. Okay? So this is the same as I've discussed a while ago. Okay? So what happens on carbohydrate absorption? So since nga naging simple sugars na yung carbohydrates in the small intestine, then it's ready for absorption. So glucose, if you take up glucose on its simplest form, and then it can be absorbed automatically in the mouth. But majority, again, is normally absorbed in the small intestine since everything, all of the digestive process ends on the small intestine. Okay? Some types of carbs like glucose and galactose to hindi galactic, it will undergo active transport in order for it to be absorbed. Okay? While fructose and smaller rise in blood glucose will undergo facilitated diffusion for absorption. Ayaw mamo. Okay, so ayan. This is a diagram showing the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates. So again, normally if you eat polysaccharides or multiple sugar molecules like starch, you ate pasta, you ate rice, ayan. Nor it will begin digestion in the mouth wherein the salivary amylase will begin breaking down the starch. Okay, on the stomach, there's no enzymes, but there will be hydrochloric acid to break down those food. But once it reaches the small intestine, the pancreatic amylase will break it down into oligosaccharides and disaccharides. Once it reaches its disaccharide form, okay, enzyme specific for it will break it down into monosaccharides. So, di ba, lactose has lactase, maltose has maltase, sucrose has sucrase. Okay? After which, glucose, fructose, and galactose is bound for absorption. So glucose and galactose are absorbed via coat transport with sodium ions. Fructose passes via facilitated diffusion, and all monosaccharides leave the epithelial cells also via facilitated diffusion. They will enter the capillary blood in the villi and are transported to the liver via the hepatic portal vein. So what remains is the fibers, and they would be transferred to the large intestine, which is bound for elimination. Okay, so again, this is the same as what is written on the previous slides. Okay, so again, the main source of energy is glucose. Okay, so enzymes break apart glucose, yielding energy. So what if we have inadequate supply of carbohydrates? We are not eating, thus we are not getting any glucose as well. The ketone bodies or fat fragments, they will step up. Okay, they will be an alternative energy source during starvation. Okay, but excess ketones can lead to ketosis, which could cause imbalance of acids in the body. So yun nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo that there's three big nutrients or macronutrients, which is carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. They help each other in function. Pero like say carbohydrates, its main function is energy source, but you chose to have low carb diet or you chose to starve yourself, of course, it means we will not have any energy left. Okay? So kung hindi kaya ng glucose or ng carbs yung function niya, the ketone bodies or fat fragments will step up. The problem with that, there will be a consequences wherein the patient or that human could have ketosis, which is an imbalance of acids in body. So, like in human, if you have your work and you didn't do it right, someone, and then you ask someone to do it for you, na wala naman siyang masyadong alam doon, you are bound for failure. Okay? So, ganun yung nangyari dito. Okay? So, if you are really on a diet, on a reduced diet, you could still eat sugar or carbs, but yun nga, minimum of 50 to 100 grams of carbs per day to avoid ketosis kasi you still need energy. Just a simple standing up or sitting, we still need simple bodily movements need energy. So it's very important that we have glucose homeostasis, meaning we have to maintain our sugar level in balance. Okay, so this means we have to eat balanced meal at regular intervals, at least 4 to 5 hours interval. Fiber and some fats slow the digestive process down, and glucose gets into the blood slow and steady. Maintaining an even balance of glucose is controlled by insulin and glucagon. So there's actually hormones in our body that control the blood sugar level. So like insulin, it moves glucose into the blood every time we need it, every time we need energy. While glucagon, it will bring glucose out of storage if we don't have enough glucose that is used for energy as well. So, but there are some cases that we really have carbs imbalance, and it could lead to disease like diabetes. So, diabetes means you have blood glucose level that is very high, okay? Or pwede rin na there's a problem with your insulin. Diba? If you remember, insulin is the one controlling your blood sugar. So, if the insulin did not regulate the blood glucose, nagkaroon ng high glucose, so yan, that would lead to diabetes. Hypoglycemia, on the other hand, is the opposite because this time, blood glucose drops dramatically. Okay? So, pwedeng cause is a diet, okay? Because you're eating too much, you're not eating anything, okay? Or pwede rin naman that you have too much insulin or too much activity, but you are not eating enough. Thus, you will have hypoglycemia. Okay, ganun lang naman lagi. Kailangan nga laging may balance, right? So again, all of this, yung imbalance, it's either a problem with insulin or a problem with your carbohydrate diet. So how would you know if you have hypoglycemia or low blood sugar? So there's a feeling of dizziness, trembling, sweating, hunger, headaches, in short, loss of energy. Okay, so hypoglycemia can be treated with simple sugar for an easy energy source, but you have to eat grains or complex carbohydrates to recuperate your energy. Okay, diabetes. So, ayan, diabetes has a lot of um, function. The main function symptoms, the main symptoms is polydipsia, polyphagia, and polyuria. Polyuria is frequent urination, polyphagia, frequent thirst, and polydipsia is frequent hunger. Baka napagbaliktad ko, but yun nga. Clinical manifestation of faulty carbohydrate intake. So if you have hypoglycemia or inadequate intake of sugar, obviously you will have weight loss. You will also have growth retardation because it affects the brain tissues. And of course, you will have low blood sugar level. So you also have loss of energy. So factors that lowers the blood sugar level, prolonged undernutrition, you're not eating enough, excessive exercise, yun na nga, you're not eating enough and then you're pushing yourself through exercise. So ginagamit mo yung energy. Poor glucose absorption. So obviously you're not absorbing any glucose or sugar. It's a problem. Liver disease because the liver and the kidney, yung liver, it stores glucose through glucagon. Kidney, um, it filters sugar, or it can also be hormonal deficiency, so you have problem with your insulin. Excessive intake. So if you have excessive intake of carbohydrates, it could lead to gas formation, specifically if you are on a high fiber diet. Obesity, especially if you like eating simple carbohydrates, and cardiovascular disease as well. Gastric mucosa irritation, increased triglyceride level, because if you remember, carbohydrates, um, it regulates fat metabolism. So if you don't have carbs, it could also affect the fat metabolism. Thus, there will be increased triglyceride level. Dental caries, so later we'll talk about it, pero sugar is one of the main causes of dental caries. Factors that increase blood sugar level, increase carbs intake, decrease physical activity. So yun na nga, you're not using up the energy but you're eating a lot of sugar. Increase glucose absorption, liver disease, tension and stress, fright. So bakit nandiyan yung tension and stress and fright? Kasi it's like our coping mechanism that if we are stressed or we are scared, we tend to eat a lot. Increase pituitary gland function and hyperactive adrenal cortex. Role of carbohydrate dentistry. So rationale, sugar exerts its caries promoting effect locally. So meaning it could affect a specific tooth. Starch-rich food is not as cardiogenic as sugar-rich food since starch needs to be broken down. Okay? While sugar, simple sugar, it could actually be retentive on the tooth surface. Amount of sugar is not paramount important. The frequency of sugar consumption is a prime factor. So it's okay that if you eat sugar all at once in one sitting, rather than eating it frequently, like 8 times a day, okay, na it would actually cause more retention of sugar. Kasi if you eat sugar on a lot of sugar in one sitting, at least afternoon you will drink water and brush your teeth. But if you eat sugar frequently on a day, hindi ka naman every kain mo magtutoothbrush, right? So, another thing, form and composition of sweet is critical. So yun nga, if it's a simple sugar, it's considered a cariogenic. So meaning it has a caries promoting effect. But if it's in a complex form like starch, it's not as cariogenic as the sugar-rich food. Major factors in caries process. So tooth structure, of course, because it's the one who will have a caries. Dental plaque. Dental plaque is an accumulation of bacteria. Fermentable carbohydrates, which is the sugar we are eating. Saliva, cardiogenic potential of foods that contain sugar. And time. So again, if you eat frequently, you are bound to have dental caries. So, di ba sabi kanina, the form could affect the carcinogenicity of the food. So, sugar alcohols, they have little or no effect on plaque pH because it has alcohol. So, it has antibacterial effect. Kasi plaque nga, again, is an accumulation of bacteria on the tooth surface. Starch-rich food has little effect on retentiveness, again, because they are polysaccharides, while sugar-rich food has physical form that influences carcinogenicity. So this is the formula of having a tooth decay. So sugars, specifically simple sugars, plus the bacteria from the plaque. So if you have plaque and then you eat a lot of sugar, it will form acids. That acid would attack the healthy tooth, thus causing tooth decay or tooth caries. So yun yung iniiwasan natin. Okay, so it's very important that we brush our teeth every day, every after eating sugary foods, or if we really are into sugars, at least eat it all at once and then brush your teeth after so that we prevent retention of bacteria, thus preventing plaque and also preventing formation of acids. You have a post task on carbohydrates on how carbs affect dental health. Okay, you may draw a diagram or make a diagram, pero wag naman tong nandito sa PowerPoint. Okay, you have to make your own. Diabetes mellitus is an excess disease which is caused by excessive sugar intake. There are oral manifestation of diabetes mellitus, meaning it complicates the oral health. Okay, so oral manifestations are symptoms. So this includes serostomia. Serostomia is decreased saliva, okay, or dry mouth. Okay, mas madali, dry mouth. Okay, so it will also cause gingival swelling and bleeding. Okay? Advanced periodontal pocket formation. A periodontal pocket is a space between the gums and the tooth. Normally kasi 'di ba, dapat intact yung gums on the tooth. It will cover the root area of the tooth. But if you have periodontal pockets, there's a space or there's a pocket between the tooth and the gums. There will be diffuse erythema of oral mucosa. So when you say erythema, there will be redness. This is because if you are diabetic, you are prone from gingival swelling and bleeding. So you have gingivitis. Burning sensation in the roof of the mouth. So because you have serostomia, you have dry mouth. Okay, so it would cause pain on the hard palate. So burning sensation means there's pain. Decreased healing of wounds, it happens not only on the oral cavity, but on the body in general, that all diabetic patients, they have this decreased healing of wound symptoms. Okay, these patients, diabetic patients, they are actually really hard to treat, especially yun nga if they will undergo surgery because there is decreased healing and they are prone to bleeding. Okay, that's why if we have to treat those patients, we need the clearance from their medical doctor or check the blood sugar level. Okay, if this is maintained or not, or controlled or not. Another thing, if we have to fabricate dentures on these patients, it's also really hard because they have serostomia. So again, serostomia is dry mouth. Okay? One of the retentive factors of dentures is saliva. Na kaya makapit yung denture is because we have saliva. Okay? Nasisip-sip siya ng saliva. But since diabetic patients has serostomia, thus dentures is also less retentive on those patients. Okay, so these types of patients, diabetic patients, we need special consideration on these patients. Okay, so I'm sugar and spice and everything nice, but if you want to best with me, you better think twice kasi it affects a lot of our organs like kidney and liver, and would also cause problems in the cardiovascular health. Okay, so that's it for carbohydrates. Okay, so I guess sabi ko nga sa inyo, nutrition is easy because we'll just talk more about food. And mostly discuss nyo to sa biochem kasi like mga glucose, galactose, most probably it was discussed in biochem. So, but this time we have to correlate it to dental medicine, okay, or dentistry. So, anong sagot sa poll nyo? Nandiyan pa ba kayo?
24 po.
What? 24. So, we don't have class next Saturday. We will meet on August 31. Okay? So, August 31 will be quiz on carbohydrates, followed by discussion on the last topic for prelims, which is lipids. Okay? Oh. Gets? If you don't have any questions, bakit? Kasi nilipat ko yung sorry. na ano yung webcam ko dahil sa anak ko. Ay, Dok, wala po kayong audio. Ayan, okay na. Sorry, napindot ko.
Mama haven't.
I have no audio. They said I don't have audio. Ano nga yun? There's a post test for carbohydrates. It should be submitted. It's open for 2 weeks. So deadline would be August 31 as well. Again, you know me, I don't accept late submissions. Okay? No classes on the 24th. Class will be on the 31st. Quiz again. Basta 7 o'clock, ino-open ko na yung quiz. Okay? If you don't have any questions, you can leave. Yes, Miss Castellano.
Doc, we would like to ask lang po if you could share the PowerPoint from this lecture for us to study po.
Yeah, it's on the reference of the module.
Daddy.
Module, introduction of the course, click on the reference. All my PowerPoints are there from prelims until finals.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay. What's that? Ang kapal na